I used to think that God never answered my prayers. I would pray and pray, pouring out my heart and soul, only to be met with silence. I would beg for a sign, a signal, anything to show me that he was listening. But it seemed like my prayers were just disappearing into the void, never to be heard or acknowledged. I started to lose faith. I started to doubt whether God even existed, whether he cared about me at all. I felt abandoned, alone in a world that seemed to be crumbling around me. I couldn't understand why God would ignore me, why he would turn a blind eye to my suffering. But then, one day, everything changed. I was at my lowest point, feeling lost and hopeless, when I heard a voice inside me. It was quiet at first, barely a whisper, but it grew stronger and more insistent with each passing moment. It was a voice of comfort, of reassurance, telling me that I was not alone, that I was loved beyond measure. I realized in that moment that God had been answering my prayers all along. He had been speaking to me in the stillness of my heart, guiding me through the darkness, even when I couldn't see or hear him. He had been there with me every step of the way, holding me up when I felt like I couldn't go on. I felt a sense of peace wash over me, a peace that I had never experienced before. I knew in that moment that God was real, that he was watching over me, that he had a plan for my life that was greater than anything I could imagine. I felt a sense of gratitude unlike anything I had ever felt before, a gratitude for the love and mercy that God had shown me. From that day on, I made a promise to myself to always listen for God's voice, to always be open to his guidance and his love. I knew that he would never abandon me, that he would always be there to lift me up when I fell, to comfort me when I was in pain, to guide me when I was lost. I started to see God's hand in everything around me. I saw his beauty in the sunrise, his power in the thunderstorm, his love in the laughter of a child. I realized that he was everywhere, in every moment, in every breath that I took. I felt his presence in the gentle breeze, in the warm embrace of a loved one, in the quiet stillness of the night. I started to see my life in a new light. I saw the struggles and the challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. I saw the pain and the suffering not as punishment, but as a chance to draw closer to God, to deepen my faith, to strengthen my spirit. I realized that God's answers are not always loud and clear. They are not always what we expect or what we want. But if we listen with an open heart, if we trust in his wisdom and his love, we will see that he is always there, always guiding us, always leading us towards a brighter tomorrow. And so I continue to walk this journey of faith, knowing that God is by my side every step of the way. I may not always understand his ways, but I trust in his goodness, in his mercy, in his unfailing love, and I know that as long as I have faith, as long as I believe in his promises, I will never be alone.